Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope you're all having a good day. Your week started well. And I'm happy to be here today. My name is Dorcas Wanga from Washington. And we are continuing with our study lessons. And today we are on lesson 9. And it's talking about a more excellent way. So the whole of this, or rather all these lessons that we've been studying, one of the things that I'm learning is they're just a reminder of the principles of God, the principles that we really should be holding or upholding, and the ones that God desires for us to develop or have, because they are part of developing our character. And so we are going to be talking about a more excellent way today. And the memory text comes from Romans 13 verse 8 and 10. It says, "Owe no man anything but to love one another. For he that loveth one another hath fulfilled the law. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore love is the fulfilling of the law." And in the Acts of the Apostles, page 318, it says, "No matter how high in the profession, he whose heart is not filled with love for God and his fellow men is not a true disciple of Christ." Those are very strong words that we really have to think about when we talk about love, because in today's society, love is really misused. The word is misused, and it has lost much of its meaning because it's based so much on self. And so these lessons are teaching us what love is and how we should love. And so on Sunday, it's talking about the greatest commandment. Question A was, how was Christ questioned by a lawyer and why? We see where Jesus was asked what the greatest commandment is, and that's what he wanted to know, which was the greatest commandment, because the Pharisees only exalted the first 4 commandments. They tried to exalt the first 4 commandments, but they didn't exalt the other 6. And so that's why Jesus had to talk about those other 6. And we see in the commentary here, it says, the Pharisees had exalted the first 4 commandments, which point out the duty of man to his maker as of far greater consequence than the other 6, which defines man's duty to his fellow man. As the result, they greatly failed of practical godliness. Jesus had shown the people their great deficiency and had taught the necessity of good works, declaring that the tree is known by its fruits. For this reason, he had been charged with exalting the last 6 commandments above the first 4. But we see he wasn't really exalting the last 6. He was exalting the whole law, and so really, when the lawyer asked him, he really had to point to the other 6 though. And in question B, we are asked, how did Christ sum up the principles of the law? And that's really where we were going, where it says we are to love God and to love our fellow men. So the first 4 of the 10 commandments are summed up in the one great precept: "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart," and the last 6 are included in the other: "Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself." So both these commandments are expression of the principle of love. So we cannot learn to love ourselves or love our neighbors if we do not have the love of God in our hearts. So it has to start from love for God. And the first cannot be kept and the second broken, nor can the second be kept while the first is broken. When God has his rightful place on the throne of the heart, the right place will be given to our neighbor. We shall love him as ourselves, and only as we love God supremely is it possible to love our neighbor impartially. In fact, most people nowadays don't even love themselves. People are really abuse themselves, and so they cannot in themselves produce that love. So we cannot start saying, I'm going to love my neighbor as myself, without loving God first. So when we love God first and we desire to be like him, and our character starts changing, that's when we are able to realize what love is, and we're able to love ourselves and love our neighbors as well. So love here is the principle and the greatest commandment that God gave, because God is love. He's, everything we read in the scriptures is about his love for us and for humanity in general. So that really concludes our study for Sunday. I hope you've been blessed, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. So have a blessed Sunday. Bye bye.